Test, test. Can you guys hear me? 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the chat. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Starting a little soon. Cool. Let me kill the timer. Your device has automatically been set. Okay, yeah, everything looks good. Music should be, yeah. So anyway, kick it off like normal. This stream is intended to be used as only for educational purposes, not intended to be used as financial advice. Guys, we're here. The merge happened, and the world didn't end, and Vitalik didn't have to run off in shame. Big day, needless to say. Big week in general. We saw a lot of price action. Some really crazy stuff, in all honesty. And I think a lot of it we lost from traditional markets getting spooked, but we can talk about that in a little bit. But just a quick update where we are with Ethereum. We're falling down. I think a lot of people were arguing this is going to be a sell the news event. And if you're new to this space and don't know what we're talking about, ETH went from ETH 1.0 to 2.0, and we've switched from proof of stake or from proof of work to proof of stake. So no more Ethereum mining unless you're on the Ethereum Classic chain, which is a separate thing altogether. And it's something we've been talking about for over 5 years, and it finally happened. And somehow we didn't have any god candles. No crazy capitulation. No whites. No pinks. Nothing painted crazy. Super exciting. And then the price just kind of went sideways. Like nothing happened. Like technically, it's really awesome that they pulled this off. I know a lot of people have their debates. What's better, proof of stake, proof of work? At the end of the day, for me personally, I want both. There's going to be a lot of stuff going into the environmental issues we have with electricity and just the overall government's trying to crack down on stuff that's burning and producing a carbon footprint. I don't think they could ever really challenge Bitcoin, but if they do, I like having a number two in place other than something like Cardano with that. So something that I actually take seriously. So yeah, they did it last night around like 1:30, 2 o'clock for at least where I live. The merge happened and nothing really changed. The performance of Ethereum all kind of worked out. I know Coinbase did some transaction issues, or not issues. They kind of like turned off withdrawals and deposits for a little bit, but everything's been switched back to normal, and they were just kind of wanting to make sure that the merge went went as planned. And the engineers kicked butt this time. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of things could have gone wrong, needless to say, and they nailed it. So, really cool, historic to say the least. Like you guys got to witness like one of the biggest events in crypto, and especially one that was planned. But so far, we can just take a look at like where Ethereum is right now. Going up to the merge, Ethereum has been rocking. It's been outperforming Bitcoin quite a bit. We have our range that was established here. We free fell down and we went sideways and we completely went up and out. This range itself, I would mark it like this with the bell curves. And we completely blew through it. And we printed a lot of entry signals. We printed a lot of sell signals along the way. And we blew up, shot all the way up into our reversion bands and just kept going until we kind of cooled off. And then we've kind of been going sideways. We started rallying again going into the merge, and then it kind of fell off and printed some sell signals as well. So where do we go from here? I'm not really sure. A lot of people have been asking me about the merge because I've been talking about it for years. And I think it's going to be a news event for at least 2 weeks. I don't think we're actually going to see the implementation or like how we're going to see like the true market dynamics react to this for a while. And it just is what it is. I mean, we've seen the same thing with the halvenings on Bitcoin. The halvenings print, price rallies, going up into the print. The halvening happens, price free falls, sell the news, and then it slowly climbs back up. With that being said, this was basically a triple halvening, and so far, emission rates have been deflationary for pretty much, I think, the whole day. So that was a big question I had: was Ethereum emission rates going to be deflationary? and so far they have been. This is a really cool website, etherchain.org/burn, and they've got, it's been going anywhere from like negative a half F per minute to 2 F per minute, and so far it's been going pretty smooth. And so far the average burn rate for the past 24 hours is about an ETH a minute, so about $1,500. So technically ETH is deflationary. Now at these rates, like, they're never going to go to zero. Like, you're not going to see a 10% reduction in Ethereum for like decades, I think. But let me check ultrasound money slip. Give me a second because I got the links pop up weird. Yeah, cool. So let's take a ultrasound money. This shows it going back up. So we were deflationary. And I have noticed some of the Etherchain scans have looked differently, but this was much more this morning, and now it's going back up. Interesting. This is different from what we saw on Etherchain. But either way, it's kind of cool. And the other thing is, I remember when proof of work was in place, this was all over the place. So it's kind of interesting. And I think this is from your website you were just talking about. The supply chain since death. This was 8 seconds into the merge. They burned 122 F. So either way, I kind of want to see the burn continue. Deflationary status technically matters. You're not going to have the selling pressure. You're going to have the opposite technically. So it'll be interesting. But that's where we're at. And frankly, Ethereum's pretty high right now. We could do a range low sweep. Right now, we did break through this rainbow pivot here. We did respect these pivots up top. And I know there's been a lot of people talking in the Discord in regards to the pivot order blocks, so we can go ahead and draw those. So we've got our cluster of pivots there, switch that to red. And then we have pretty much there's a double pivot there if you can tell. So that's a really tight order block. And then you have the bottom support block, which is these two, technically three. This is all on the default settings on H4. So we broke through for sure this top pivot, but it's come back down since, and now we've got to figure out where support is. And frankly, the world markets right now had a really bad day. The S&P 500, a lot of currencies as well fell, and then some earnings reports came in pretty sour. So we cover that in a minute, but just want to sum up Ethereum as far as like actual TA wise. I think a lot of people were leveraged into this, but we've got to see what happens on the spot time frame or on the spot orders and see what really happens over the next, I think, 3 to 4 weeks would be really, really what I want to see. But with that being said, I want to get above this, confirm it, and take another shot at this resistance up here. Or we're going to come back down and at least hit this double pivot. But I highly doubt we will go straight through this double pivot. You should at least catch a bounce. But if it goes through that and we go through some serious pain, inflation, Fed, FOMC, FOMO, whatever, you're looking down here for your bids, and you might get your chance at sub 1,000 again. Will you have the guts to buy it? I don't know. A lot of people won't. Not a lot of people bought down here when we were printing whites on the colors, and that's typically when you see Tetranode and like high stakes capital actually catch bids. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to see that. It would be awful. This would go down in the history books. We finally deliver the merge, and then basically the price gets cut in half with a bullish narrative. So, anywho, let me catch up on chat. Got Josh, Slip. How you doing, Fletch? Change to Bulbasaur. What's the probability of putting on testing the lows again? I think that really depends on Wall Street, honestly, right now. The world markets are in control right now, in all honesty. Bitcoin is not in the honey badger mode where it does not care what the S&P does. Right now, if the S&P moves down, Bitcoin follows it, and Ethereum follows that too, right? So we shall see. On a side note, which I thought was kind of crazy, someone wanted to print an NFT on the first proof of stake block, and they paid 36 Ethereum in gas to print this thing, just in gas fees. So, pretty awesome to see that happen, and also the merge, kind of the icon as a panda, in case you didn't know. But that's where we're at with that one. We can take a look at Bitcoin too, and all this is they're merged on a Wednesday night, Thursday morning. We're gonna go into a weekend, so buckle up. Maybe catch some real true capitulations if we get them, but if we don't, I'm not really. It's chopping around and it's in the middle of a trading range, so like I'm not hungry to bite here, right? You know, like when I have my trading ranges set up with like the bell curves, like I don't like messing around in the middle, and we're like right in the middle. We're not down here in this lower quadrant yet, so we'll see if we catch that bid. I don't know if we will, but stranger things have happened. But regardless, set your alerts, set your bots to catch it if it does. We'll see if we can get a flash crash for old time's sakes, Alameda style. But for the most part, we did follow up with this creek, but we're rejecting now. We're going down, so maybe this is a redistribution chart. But we did catch this creek in the creek jump, so played out. We didn't get the range high test, but we did get this immediate range high test on that one. So just really sucks. Is this thing was going, and then the CPI print came in bad, like really bad. On if you look into it, it's really bad. Number wise, it doesn't look that bad, but it's a really bad CPI print. And I have to pull up a link that I didn't pre-populate. I'll have to go look for that in a second. But either way, CPI is what scared this. The consumer price index indicated we do not have inflation out of control or under control. A lot of the thought was it was going to be under control, but considering how much fuel prices have gone down, the price of the pumps have dropped like $1, which is a lot. But CPI came in still pretty high, and that's with them dumping the reserves. So we got to see. Food and housing and stuff is still sky high. So we've really got to see what happens there. And the mortgage rates are all officially over like 6% now. S&P chart. This is the one we always look at. Let me change the settings for the volatility so it prints a little prettier. And I've started using the volatility shift instead of the threshold. I think it's a little cleaner. How high do we have to go on this? Did this chart just freeze? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's why. My bad. We need to go negative on the sensitivity. Here we go. Yeah, S&P doesn't move very fast, so you got to crank these settings to get the volatility right, just to get the right colors, or just stare at red and greens all day. But for the most part, this sell signal really concerned me on the 4-hour with the TP bot. We had this one here at 4,700. We had another one at 45, and then we just printed this one at like 4,300. And we're going into the weekend, and we're about to lose some serious support lines. I'm not looking forward to this. There's one right here that we lost today. I need to fix that. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. If you don't remember, the pivots can't print across the entire screen because it'll crash trading views. So they can only go so far, but just manually draw them if they're important to you. But we came back up, tested these pivot blocks here, did a swing failure pattern over it, and then we've been coming down. Tried to break back into that, but we did not make it through the 4100 pivot, and now we're coming back down, and we went right through the 3950 pivot. So not looking good. And some stuff came out after hours this today, so that's not not bullish. So I'll go into that in a second. And I've completely forgot when the FOMC is, so let me throw on Spaceman's indicator. There it is. So FOMC meeting, if you just type in FOMC trading review, it'll come up. We have an FOMC meeting September 20th, so that'll be next week. And right now, futures is saying the Fed's going to come in with a 75 basis point increase, which is going to further compound the housing issues we have right now. So I know you guys want to talk crypto. This controls crypto right now. Everyone knows Bitcoin's king, but the king bows to this bad boy. And this thing bows down to the Federal Reserve or the Feds. So that meeting coming up on the 20th is going to be a very, very, very important day. So maybe risk off, because you got to remember, you don't know what you do or don't know. Let the stuff print, let it come to you, and then go from there, right? So on the 20th, we got to we got to see what they say. If they come out and say anything above 75, like, markets will tank. Maybe if we get a 50 basis point, it'll rally, but we've got a lot of pivots above us. I don't think we're fully reset. And the other thing I don't think we're fully reset is oil hasn't reset either. Now, we are in a downtrend on the oil, which is great. Ideally, we want to get down into the midterms, maybe have this thing bottom out, and then we'll basically be recreating our 2008 fractal. I want to see if I can pull up the diesel one again. The trading views moved it, so I have a hard time finding it. There it is, DD safe goal. So let me turn off the F1 spaceman. Diesel broke out. It finally broke its parabolic, but now it's going sideways. So this thing needs to bottom. Back in like 2009, it bottomed hard. So there's the COVID crash. And then this is, yeah. This is what I'm kind of looking for. If we can get this type of pullback on diesel and we get the S&P falling, and we get some type of support on diesel, I'm looking to go back in on my stocks. I've been hedged for over a year now, and I'm in no rush until I see that. So just trying to keep an eye on it. As always, we can take a look at Zcash. Zcash is a really good indication of what the market is when you don't always have a read. The Zcash guys sometimes will front run it. You'll see the same thing with Litecoin. Litecoin whales will move before anything else, but right now, and I don't really like this channel walker. It didn't play out. Let me pull that. It's tagging lows, and it's got a lot of support on the 2-hour. There's a bunch of pivots here. It's been ricocheting through. But frankly, it's going sideways and holding support. This isn't the most bullish thing, because typically we see Zcash bottom out and then full send. It's not full sending, but it is bouncing back up every time into some type of lower time frame resistance. So maybe if you're bored and don't want to sit it out, that's really your levels right there to try to catch a bid, but it's a tight range. There's not a lot here. If you only catch that mid-range, it's only 12%. That's not a big change. Now, ideally, I would love to see it bounce and pull back up, but remember, we've got this block down here, and you lose 58 and come to 50, your bid's going to really, really hurt, so don't diamond hand that in any way. But anywho, another thing on a news break, Cardano's Charles Hoskin hits back at Jack Dorsey, and I could care less. Another cool thing I wanted to say is Korea finally issued a warrant to arrest Do Kwon. So your Luna bro who screwed everybody over may finally go to jail, which would be awesome. I don't really wish that on a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that like committed suicide over this. So I'm really big on that dude getting paid back for what he does and go to jail for running that scam Ponzi stuff. So anywho, actually I think Luna was pumping the Luna C. What was this? Anybody know what the ticker was? Was Luna Classic or? Yeah, that's what we saw on Luna. And shout out, this is the tool coming out later this month. This is the intelligent reversion band, and this is exactly what this damn thing was designed to do. This is super cool. These are the traditional bands, and then the blue ones are the never been done before territory. So it shows you the max volatility, and this thing shot straight into the max volatility and bled off. And then apparently kissed the pivots. So that's even cooler. Now, I don't recommend trading this volatile thing, but it apparently dumped when they found out the warrant, not the warrant, the warranty, the warrant was issued for his arrest. And can you guess when the warrant was issued? Maybe the whale print there indicates people bailing. Yeah, So that's the time frame when he got issued that one. This is another thing I want to keep my eye on. If you remember, the United States seized a bunch of funds earlier this year in regards to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now the U.S. Treasury is doing Treasury sanctions on 5 crypto addresses connected to the Russian neo-Nazi paramilitary group. Because who had this on their 2023 bingo cards? I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm really interested to see how the government start locking down on crypto addresses. We got a taste of this with the truckers rally in Canada, and it put a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. And we started seeing like people opening their eyes of like, yeah, there's a reason we need Monero, because they were banning people from accessing their bank accounts like indefinitely. Couldn't pay their mortgages, people were losing their houses, so it's pretty crazy. Um, Speaking, I didn't look at it. I want to see the mortgage rates because that's over 6% now. Yeah. Obviously, this type of data is not for this type of indicator, but the RSI does work. I just don't like drawing rainbow stuff on the lines. But with that 75% basis point coming soon, potentially 6% 30-year APR is insane. Congrats to you if you bought a house in the twos. You won't ever beat it. But regardless, keep an eye on this because this is gonna dictate a lot of things. If this thing gets back up above if we get to double digits, who knows what's gonna happen? But this thing is straight vertical right now, going parabolic, and it's not something you want to see go parabolic. Same thing you said would be like the DXY. DXY is cranking and going hardcore, and we don't want to see this. If you're not familiar with what the DXY is, the quick summary is this is basically the strength of the United States dollar. The stronger this thing is, the weaker stocks are and compared to it, as well as other currencies. So if this thing's trucking, the euro's falling. And people's stocks and everything else are going to fall too, and they're going to have a really hard time with it. It's just the way it is. And frankly, let me adjust the chart a little bit because I'm talking while I'm trying to adjust it. It's gone full ham and full parabolic, and frankly, we have a pivot block back here from 2002. That's the 118 to the 121s, and there's nothing here in between. We broke through this block here, and we're moving our way back up, and I don't want to see it, but if I was to guess where a really awesome place would be to come up and tag DXY and full reverse it, it would be in the 120s. So maybe I don't think we have enough time to get here by midterms. Maybe. Let me do the fractal real quick. I don't normally do fractals, but I'm kind of curious. Like at this parabolic pace, can we get to 120? December to end of the year, if we kept going at these rates, it's possible. So I'll leave that there. I don't know. I don't know if this is how it's going to go. I'm just trying to line up. We have the wheat harvest coming this fall. We're going to get those numbers soon. We're going to get the midterm elections in the United States. So if maybe we end the Russian war, maybe we get a really good wheat harvest, maybe we get a really nice election, not a lot of drama. Maybe we bottom out in 2 months and this whole bear market's done. That's best case scenario. I don't know if we'll get it, but I want to see all this stuff wrapped up. I want to see oil fall. I want to see the elections go smooth. I want to see the war end. I want to see the farmers bring in crops so we actually have countries not starving next year. So we shall see. This bothers me because it's pushing it into February, which is not lining up with that time frame, but it is what it is. Connie, I see you. You want to? So if you have TradingView, you go over to this tool where it's got like the long position, short position. There's something called a bars pattern, and if you click that, you click and drag the bars you want to mimic, and then double click again. So now you have that fractal, and you can move it and compare. A lot of people do like the bottoms of like Bitcoin, and then they put the fractals over like the current price data, but Regardless, that's the summary on the DXY. The VIX is going nuts too. This is the volatility index for the S&P 500. And let me go to different time frames and let me readjust the tools. Put these back to 0. So VIX is going wild as well. Chop City. And it's shown support here at the 24. So maybe she's going to rock and roll. If you can't see it, well, draw it. There's a block there. And that's going to be your magnet and or resistance. So, and then you have support down here. So we're in the middle, right? But there's a lot of stuff talking about the VIX and stuff like that. So, anyway, let me catch up on chat real quick. Yeah, the daily does look bad, EG. Apparently, Korea doesn't have jurisdiction in Singapore. Could be interesting. I bet they extradite him. They took that tornado cash guy out real quick. And I'm pretty sure it was the United States barking for him, and he was not in the United States. So, is what it is, unfortunately. I mean, it's not... I don't know. I don't think you should be arresting people that are writing privacy open source code. People like doing viruses and stuff that's malicious, sure, but like that type of stuff, I'm just kind of eh. But moving on to an interesting thing, Cathie Wood and Elon Musk are sounding the alarm on deflation. So I understand Jerome Powell is really slow in his responses to the market. I also realize that he looks at lagging indicators. I just personally don't think they're going to get the quantitative tensioning or the QTing to the point of deflation. I think they're going to chicken out before they always did in the past, but he's starting to raise the alarm on it, and that's something I kind of want to see where that goes. And yeah, Angel, you're right. It was in the EU, but I'm pretty sure the US is the one who was like, we need that guy done now. You got to remember the US also has bounties for whoever can crack Monero and stuff like that. Pantalga, what's up, bud? Pantalga's here. We got to look at Algo. Or Villanova stats. Either or. We got an Algo Bart. We got a sell signal on it too on the 4 hour before. Normally, when I think I'm dealing with Barts, I like to look at the 2 hour because typically you'll see these RSIs stop early and then you'll get the sell signal in the middle like that. This is nice, but now we're here. Now we got to see if we can catch this bid. But with Algo, it's if the rest of the world cramps tomorrow, Algo's gonna fall too. So you got to be careful. Nova. Let me see. Was it Elon Musk? Yeah, that was the same thing. This was another one. So we were talking about the DXY pumping. The Chinese yuan went parabolic today. I know this chart's a little overfitted, but for the most part, currencies are shooting up and they're having a hard time. I think some of the Japanese ministers as well were talking about their currency as well and them not potentially having the tools to fix this. And the higher they crank up rates, the higher the DXY go, the rest of these currencies are going to have issues. And why is this important to crypto? Majority of the world, when they take out loans, when they take out debt, they do it in US dollars, but they earn income in their local currency. So when the dollar's getting stronger and that's what you owe your debt on, but you're paid in a weaker currency, you get screwed. And it really puts a strain on the entire financial market. And frankly, if this stuff keeps going bad, people are really going to have issues with dealing with USD. They're not going to want to touch it. They want stuff that's stable. And yeah, 3% target, 2% target inflation is great. We're not anywhere near that. And trying to fix it's going to wreck a lot of stuff. And my boy Dylan LeClaire, worth a follow. Is one of the only on-chain guys I actually trust. He's turned more into a terminal guy, Bloomberg terminal, but dude's still bearish. And he picked up FedEx's destroyed their after hours following a huge earnings call miss. This massive miss from shipping giant reads like a sign of what's to come. If you're not familiar with FedEx, if you're particularly outside of the United States, it's one of the biggest shipping companies in the world. It's like UPS or USPS or mail. A lot of packages get sent through this, and this is an indication of the worldwide market because they ship worldwide. And I actually want to see what the numbers were because I didn't see. You gotta remember, this is after hours. It fell 15% like they said, so let's check it. Oh yeah, they shot into the reversion bands. This is gonna look probably tomorrow morning like the Costco chart, and I'll review. We pull that up in a second. How bad was it? Ooh. So this is their August period. Q3, Q4s are only going to get worse, in my opinion. Maybe the fuel rates will help FedEx more than some of the others, but they're going to wake up. You're going to wake up tomorrow with FedEx prints in like the 170s, maybe worse. That's not good. This is kind of what we saw, but hey, it gives you guys an opportunity. When do you majorly see Fortune 500 companies get into these reversion bands, right? Because we saw what happened to Costco. Costco went all the way down into their reversion bands and pulled off a 40% rally. We don't have a lot of crypto coins that are even doing this, but Costco did this. So shout out to the $1.50 hot dog and Coke combo. And they have earnings coming up the 22nd, so hopefully they do okay. Otherwise, maybe we get another bid down here. Speaking of drops off the chart, I want to see Netflix. Yeah. I'm still kind of scared of Netflix. I kind of want to see it do another test down in like this horizontal range, but it free fell pretty damn hard. A lot of people want to make fun of like crypto crashing. Like Netflix just did a negative 77% drop. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, dude, their pizza's amazing. The FedEx stuff had an earnings call after the close, Fletch. So the news came out that they missed their earnings by projections by 33%. So people panic dumped it after hours. So tomorrow, when the markets are officially open, FedEx is going to open up in like the 170s. So it's going to be a show. I kind of want to check Disney. Yeah, Disney hit the pivots, bounced as well, but they're not looking too good. They've got earnings coming up as well on the November 10th. Lord of the Rings is kind of weird. I'm split on it. I'm only an episode and a half in. Oh, Hulu's not on here. Who owns Hulu? Or no, it's Amazon, isn't it? My bad, it's Amazon. I don't think Hulu's gonna mess, or I don't think the Lord of the Rings is gonna mess with Amazon, but that's pretty cool. And this tool's coming out. This is the channel walker, and that's really cool to see that. And then it full sent after a retest. Loving this tool more and more, and hoping you guys do a lot of damage with it. But it's basically done. We'll have it done at the end of the month when we launch the new website. Oh, I didn't think to show this. If you guys want to hear something other than the stream, I wasn't expecting this today or planning it for the most part, or at all. But if you're a fan of Kaleo, I actually got on his hosted spaces today, and he recorded it, and it was a lot of fun. I asked to speak and did not think he would bite, and he did. And I've been a big fan of his for a long time, but I've never listened to one of his spaces ever. And I listened to his space today, and the dude was like on point. So I raised my hand and got called up. So it was really cool. Talked for like maybe 5-10 minutes, but it's in there. Go check it out. I'm acting like a fanboy right now, but Kayla's, I like him a lot. He's got specific intel in the way he reads charts that's very unique, and he's very repeatable, which is rare. Most people have hit or miss stuff. But the other cool thing is I really, really like honesty, and most people in this space will not tell you the truth, and he will tell you flat out like if he lost, which is really, really, really rare. Looking back at Bcash, because I've been trading this a lot the past few months, or frankly, I've been trading this ever since Ver got really liquidated. This coin has been really, to me, acting a lot like Zcash, and Yes, that's what this stream is focused on, Zcash and Bcash trading. Anything with a cash at the end of it that's considered low tier, we want to trade that, right? No. I'm kidding, but this thing prints really nice repeatable colors. And as long as a coin is printing really nice repeatable rainbow colors, I don't care what it is. I'm going to just attack it till it doesn't work. Frankly, these Bart Simpsons, we've been playing them over and over again. But this is kind of high. I was expecting us to come down to like the one below 115. So I'm not really sure what this is. It's super straight, super sideways. Like Ethereum's like falling off a chart and Bcash is going sideways. It's kind of weird, but it's not in the level I want it. So I'm just kind of gonna wait. Maybe I'll get an entry signal, um, but I got nothing yet so far. So maybe I'll turn on an alert for the bot and just see what it does. But I'm trying to think of what else. Market's closed. We're an hour and a half into it. Maybe stuff's gonna start mean reverting. I mean, frankly, for me, guys, like you hear me like not posting up a bunch of like charts and stuff, me posting profits and stuff. Like I'm not really interested in a lot of stuff right now. I really want the news to shake out for like a week, at least for Ethereum 2.0, and see what happens from there. So, back to the FedEx thing. This is another indicator that Zero Hedge posted up, which lined it up with FedEx, and it was the biggest one-day drop ever recorded on FedEx. And some people actually track markets in general. They don't look at S&P 500. They would go and look at the FedEx tracker. So it's kind of interesting because Zero Hedge piped up and showed that one too. Zero Hedge also had a pretty interesting one. The Biden administration has signaled that they want to fill their reserves back up at $80, and that the Saudis are telling you that they will cut output if oil drops below $90. So essentially, OPEC will reduce supply below 90, and the White House is planning to bid 80. So back to like oil crashing to reset the S&P 500. You got a wall here from OPEC to Biden. That. So oil, for the most part, is kind of got a bid to catch it and save it, and it's not something I want to see. I personally don't like interventions with the market, but like if we want the S&P to finally absolutely bottom, we need the oil consumption to retract, because that's a sign of the market retracting in general. Less freight, it's going to signal that. And frankly, that's something we may be seeing as well from the trains. The train unions are threatening to strike, and I actually found out basically trains in general, I know they ship a lot of stuff, but I never knew what the numbers were. It's around 40% of all exports and import stuff moves via trains. So if 40% of our transportation stops and we have to put it on the back of 18-wheelers, like we're gonna have some really, really weird times ahead of us. So no way around that one. Let me see. That was the ultrasound money. Yeah. So okay, I'm back to the two last links. So anywho, I see you, Artie. Let's take a look at Sol. Sol dumped a lot like Bitcoin here when we had the Fed print. It's not a sign of strength, but we did get an entry signal right around here at 31, and we had printed a pivot at 30. Let me check the 4-hour. I mean, that is a reversion band kiss to kiss. I mean, that is kind of what you want to see, and that's frankly a 25% move. That's not too bad. I don't like it though, because frankly, this is like a channel walk up, and now we broke free. I think it's going to go sideways a bit longer, and it'll probably dance around in this range for a bit. I'm going to mark it green, even though it's kind of in a mid-range. This is like a capitulation wick that's pretty violent on an alt that's known to be violent, so this may be your floor when this is not, but it's a maybe. We don't really know. So just in case, I would do another pivot block up here, up into like the wicks, where you get some actual candle shoulders. But regardless, that's what you got to see. It did print a sell signal reversal and all that, but it's not screaming at me long. And frankly, I'll go back to the same thing when I say like I don't like playing around in the middle. That's what this is. Wrong tool. Give me a second. TradingView, if you're watching, make this look different than that. They look too much the same, and I click it over and over and over. So well, no, actually, if you bring in the bottom, it's not. It's in the middle still. I want to be in this part of the standard deviations to start really catching bids, which means I'd really be looking at like that 30.8 pivot. But speaking of me complaining about soft trading software, make sure you guys show some love with TrendSpider. I'm a quote-unquote unpaid affiliate, if that makes any sense. I basically requested that the affiliate program could be turned around to give the Rainbow Theory guys a deeper discount, and that way I don't get paid and I have no influence, or I'm not swayed monetarily. So I guarantee you I don't make $1 from this, but go check them out. That's our link to go show Dave and his team some love. They've got a lot of big stuff coming, and they're adding stuff to their platform all the time. And I'm learning more and stuff with it, and it's really got some interesting stuff on stocks, in particular, that I don't have access to outside of their platform. So, but definitely go show them some love and use our link and stuff, because it helps build our relationship with them. And they're good people, and we're good people, and I think good people should all network and help each other out. But frankly, they gave us the deepest permanent discount that's ever been printed for like an affiliate program, because I gave up the monetary incentive. So give it back to you guys. So please go show them some love. Anywho, and I got to get better with that before I feel comfortable streaming, because you even see me misclicking stuff in TradingView, and I've been using TradingView for like 5-6 years. So anywho, side note, something happened today that's never happened before. Kobe and Ledger met in person for the first time at a ball and castle. So I don't know, this just makes me happy. Kobe makes me laugh, and Ledger does too. I just like these dudes a lot for all the wrong reasons. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're some of the best people in the space. Maybe not the most alpha for like making money, but it's very entertaining, the stuff they post. And frankly, they're really, really good guys. They're not shipping scams out, and Kobe really helps out a lot of people that do get involved or called out improperly. I won't name names, but he's always there to like help out and put money where his mouth is to help people out. But the funny thing is they were, saying, "Hey, this is the merge." And if you don't know, Kobe's profile pic says he's never met Ledger, and Indy60 called it out. Zach XBT, we got a live one. So if you don't know who Zach XBT is, he's kind of like the to catch a scammer on Twitter, and he exposes all these people. And he got tagged here to expose Kobe for lying that he's never met Ledger. I don't know. I got a kick out of that. I thought it was friggin' awesome. Kobe tall or Brian short? I think Ledger's 5'8" or something like that. There was a chart where they had there it is. Yeah, 5'11" and 6'0". I don't know. Maybe he's standing on a rock. That's crazy. And then someone put in a picture of Gainsey at 5'8", which I thought was it was amazing. So, anyway, I digress. It's not TA, but it's quite entertaining, and those dudes make me laugh. I think that I frankly, I almost got in trouble at work because I was laughing so hard. I glanced down and saw a Kobe tweet, and it was someone who was DMing him about Ledger looks like the kind of guy that da 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 da, and there was multiple ones that he said, but the best one was, I think, was the first one. He goes, Ledger looks like the kind of guy who shuts his kitchen drawers with his hips. I about pissed my pants. Anyway, good stuff all around. If you're not familiar, F Classic caught a bid as far as hash rate went. Amazon cloud servers are probably bogged down right now. All that Ethereum hash power went to this chain. And going up into the merge, that's what this run was. And Korea bid the hell out of it. 231% bid on Ethereum Classic. So, pretty crazy. Now, with that being said, I think this was by the news. This might be sell the news, and maybe, right? It's a hard one to say because I don't know how sustainable it is, and that's the other thing you have to ask yourself is, are miners present in a chain bullish? Like if I add a bunch of hash rate to Ethereum Classic, should that increase the price? I don't know, personally. Right now, I went back and looked at like what my current mining, well, my previously current mining cards could do on Ethereum Classic, and it's not enough to even get me interested. But I'm not set up with super cheap electricity, so I don't know. But I will say this: I don't like shorting, I don't like leverage, but if you lose this $31, like your targets are going to be first here 25, this range here in like the 16 17s, and if you can get any of those, you're looking at a pretty sweet, that's 16% there to 40% there, and you're talking 50 plus if you get to the bottom. So it's not financial advice, but if this falls off, this is at a super high altitude that's super blown out. Is what it is. I want to see what else is moving. If you guys have anything else you want to look at, let me know. I don't have that much time left, but Link got rejected. We had the inverted head and shoulders on Link. It came up, tested that pivot, blew through, and now it's testing this one again. But I was really hoping we were going to blow through this one, but we didn't get it. Now we're retesting this one from below, so it may bounce and come to here before it bounces. It sucks, as it broke through that channel walker too. It got through it. You can see it struggling here, and then it went after confirmation. No! Pantalga, he did. Please send that link. That's amazing. That's why I like Ledger so much. Like it's like I don't even know the dude. I wish I did. He just seems so cool. He's from Alabama. Alabama dudes are pretty chill. Cool beaches, great fishing. Music's not so good, but whatever. I'm trying to think. Just yesterday's charts were just red. Everything was red except like Loom. And all these are basically Coinbase shit coins. Adam has been on fire, if you haven't noticed. I'm not really sure. I think there was some news with it. Was it Disney? I don't really remember. Or was it the Starbucks news? I don't remember. I'm really not interested in news right now outside of the Ethereum merge, but this thing is running in a dedicated uptrend, if you can't tell. It hasn't really stopped. Originally it was channel walking, but it's now blown out of it and now back into it, back out of it. So I'm outside of calling this a channel walk anymore, but typically for me, once you do a run like that and you cut through a channel, I'm risk off until it's like 60% drop off typically. So let me see if I can pull it up. Yes, sir. That's why Ledger's the GOAT. Anyway, there needs to be some Ledger NFTs. Not gonna lie. Maybe they exist and I just don't know. I did want to check KNC because KNC's been pretty wild, yeah. Doppel's watching football. He couldn't make the stream, but I was gonna ask him about KNC because it's kind of doing the same thing. Normally you get a channel walk. Once it's broke, it's done. But this thing's pulling up while Bitcoin and Ethereum are coming down, which is interesting. What's up, Jared? This is another thing. Did you see the Boring Company whistle for the Tesla truck? They make a little whistle and it's cost 1,000 Doge. It's a little metal whistle, and we actually got to see like Elon Musk talking about Doge, and price didn't do anything. Normally, if he talks about any type of crypto, the crypto bots on Twitter just completely blow it up. So it was really shocking to see. Like, I was expecting this thing to go on a dumb run again, and it didn't. Just not good for good signal for Doge, because if Doge isn't moving in a positive light in comparison to him, that's probably not a good thing. But at the same time, Elon sold his crypto for the most part, so maybe they're not running those bots like they used to. Doge, or this is Shiv. Shiv's even scarier. It's at a very high altitude inside a bunch of resistance pivots. It's printing a sell signal, and it's falling below those pivots. So I would be very, very, very scared, cut ties if I was in a Shiv position, but I'm not, fortunately. Last thing I want to do is deal with meme coins during a merge event, but if that's your thing, those would be like your targets for a short or a re-entry, however you want to play that. Because that is definitely your resistance. You got freaking 5 pivots stacked up through there, and it did make it through, but it came back and kept hitting it. It's like a damn magnet of liquidity. Anyway, move that one. So that's like what I'm talking about. If that breaks, if you're really lucky or unfortunate. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Loom's been going nuts. Does anybody know the news behind Loom? Because I don't, but this is not normal, if you can tell. Absolutely wild. It's really, really, really hard to print pink candles on white 1 hour candles, for the record, and that blew it and just kept going. Completely skipped purple as well. Ford released their new Mustang, or revealed it. I don't know when we'll actually get it. I wanted to check their price. Go back to 4 hour. Oh, that's awesome. We had log messed up. Let me fix that. There you go. So Ford was in a channel walk since February all the way down, and it broke free. Let's see if the reverse is correct, and if it does, a 60% run off of a downward channel walk. I've never caught one of those in crypto. I'm curious if this is a 60%. Nope. 40. 40 on Ford. Their earnings were good. Really good. That's awesome. They'll have another earnings in October. They were struggling though for a bit. They were shutting down plants and laying people off, which I thought was crazy considering, like, I know so many people that are trying to buy Broncos and can't. And I guess that can crush a company too. You have orders, but you can't get the raw materials for them. Anywho, guys, I'm about to wrap it up. If you're curious why all this stuff is rainbow colored, it's because it's Rainbow Trends. Go check us out on our website, Discord, Twitch, links, all the bios everywhere. Not going to beat a dead horse, but let me pull up Twitch and see if we can raid somebody or see if any other friends or family are on Twitch having fun and we can see what they're doing. So let me pull up and see if we have crypto. If you guys have any last minute questions, let me know in the chat, or you guys can follow us in the Discord. Discord link is on the main website. I think it's in my bio too. Either way, you get lost, just shoot me a DM. Do you guys know Spanish by chance? Whatever. He's got a cool name. It's Raid Trading Rock. See you guys. Thank you, Pantalga. We're still looking like end of the month for the hard launch with the new tools and stuff, so stay tuned. See you guys.
no hay mucho más que decir. Ahora, va a tener mucho tiempo para tranquilamente caer y quedarse en rango acá. O incluso para caer, hacer un rebote e irse a buscar la zona de los 3200.